Alright folks, and we are going to be going live here with our another quarterfinals match actually. The way the schedule's been running, we actually have one bracket, side of the bracket kind of moving a little bit faster than the other side, I guess you could say. And in this game, we are going to have the computer players. And these are some old legends you'll remember from teams like Fnatic and TCM from back in the day. And it is going to be, of course, Kyochi, Climaxu, Miracle, Lincoln, and Onyx. So definitely a lot of names people are going to be very familiar with. They're going to be playing against Asocial. Also a couple of names that maybe you'll recognize. We'll talk about that a little bit later because I think the server is actually being restarted or something like that. I think there was a little bit of a mishap where the first round went live and they didn't have their fifth on the Asocial team ready or something like that. Not really sure what happened. So we may be restarting that first round. We're still going to be on Manor House V2 because this is still a quarterfinals matchup. Somebody said, Nicolas Cage, is this the top battalion caster? Well, this is the first ever tournament. And so currently myself and Vince, who's going to be working with me, who's been working with me all day, are the only two people who have ever commentated battalion before for a stream. So I guess like sense of we're the best by default because no one else has done it yet.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take it? I mean, default, right? By default, we're the best, yeah. Yeah, definitely, me and Vince have chatted a lot, and it's definitely a goal of ours to try to get into the battalion scene and cover as much as we can, so we'll try to be the best. It's always something to aspire to.
And of course, both teams will be aspiring to be the best team in battalion. And I guess with this being the first official cup of any description, the winner of this will, for a very brief amount of time, be the top team in the world. There
you go. Again, I was just telling people that certainly the computer players team has a lot of familiar names on it.
Oh, yeah.
Any of the Asocial names ring a bell to you? I don't know if you got to see their full lineup or if anybody stuck out.
Not particularly, to be honest. Again, though, it's been such a long time since I actively casted COD 4 that it's possible it just slipped my mind. But when you look at the team of computer players, yeah, these guys are a star-studded Swedish lineup that have played in the likes of Fnatic, Miracle, and Climaxu, of course, also played H2K, also some TCM. You know, they've been around the block a few times, these guys, and they've kept in touch. And obviously, they want to give it a fair try, Battalion 1944 as well. So this is definitely for me. You know, coming into this, we thought Article 51. Obviously this team in Zero Grip, I believe they're called.
Pro Grip.
Pro Grip, sorry. Yes, Pro
Grip.
Yeah,
because Davies' team pulled out, you nerds.
Yeah.
I want to see sprinters in this next tournament or whatever. Wasn't the other one was like Arctic Cats in a snowstorm? I don't know. They had like a weird team name. Hopefully we'll see some of those guys in some of the following up events.
But those were really the three teams for me that would have been in the favorites. So one of them has been knocked out. The Bang with Aerox and J Money, who's been a revelation, absolutely blitzed it on this map earlier. They have been knocked out Article 51. So now it's really down to computer players to maybe show what the Swedes have.
Indeed, they will be starting out on the Axis side, so they will be defending here against the Asocial team, who's looking to take control of middle, as well as the A Street by plane. Duck has already found first blood in the Climaxu, and Onyx has also been taken out, thanks to the likes of Zebach? I'm lost.
Yeah, I guess Zebach or Zebach, as you'd say, is probably the best way.
Yeah.
Do correct us if we're wrong in chat. I'm sure
probably
you will.
are.
And Kyochi has a bit of a nightmare scenario ahead of him, trying to stop 3 or 4 players pushing his location on the A site. And this was predominantly where we saw the Bang have a lot of success, and also Article 51 on the few allied rounds that they got was on A. B typically was more of an afterthought after they got a couple of picks, and well, Miracle is doing what he can, but he is in a 1-on-3, and I think the chance of winning this round is somewhere between slim and none.
Yeah, definitely not looking good for him in a 1v3 situation, and he will get taken out there by SNX. So I guess we'll try to assess who all these guys are. So Undead, SNX, Zebach, Duck. This is the other one that's hard. Kvetkin, maybe?
Yeah, that is a difficult one. QVTkin or Kvetkin?
I think Kvetkin sounds pretty sick.
Yeah,
it sounds good off the tongue. So that's what we're going with. Kvetkin. All right. If we're wrong, feel free to correct us.
So, first blood has been drawn by Asocial, as they are looking to impose the will on B. So they're not going to hit A twice. They're deciding to switch things up, but they're going to be walking into the embracing arms of Miracle. Very capable arms of Miracle. Zedbok is going to claim the first kill as they take control over Barn. And down goes Miracle as well. He did get 2 kills beforehand, and so will Climaxu with his sidearm. So it is a 3-on-1 in favor of Computer Players. This would be a horrific round for them to lose and let slip.
Yeah, just SNX here stuck in a 1 versus 3. Does have a lot of time. He's got the sniper in his hands. I'm not sure if he collected a second primary to replace his pistol in the midst of everything. Just holding an angle, waiting to see if anybody's going to peek him, and one will, but he misses the shot. Goes over the shoulder of Climaxu, who will push through with the shotgun. Find the frag, and that round looked a little bit dangerous at first for Computer Players. You saw how quickly Zbot got into Big Barn with the shotgun and looked to, he got the opening kill even on the round, actually. But he was quickly traded. Then Computer Players kind of clamped down from there. Kyochi, never played this map before. Where the fuck am I? Sound.
Lincoln, amen. They did say, I will say that Miracle, I was speaking to Miracle before the event started, and he did say to me that they didn't actually realize this map was in the competitive map pool. So they've done basically no prep work for it at all.
Yeah, again, guys, just to remind you, Coastal and Derail were the 2 maps that were featured a lot in the competitive rotation during beta. So that's the 2 maps that most people are familiar with. Liberation was in the arcade mode, so people still kind of played a little bit of Liberation and knew a little bit about it. In the meantime, Asocial in this round doing pretty good until Climaxu hits a nice little scope shot there with the scope Car 98. Able to get one, looking for maybe more. Oh, just prones right as someone crosses his sight lines, but no problem. He'll just rescope in and still find the kill nonetheless. He's evened it back up to a 3-on-3.
Here comes Miracle, the Gaver, but he's not able to get 2. Did significant damage, but not enough to finish off the kill. SNX down to 32. Knows where at least one of these players are, and he's going to be able to salvage the bomb. This is where he can start to play a couple of mind games. He has time as well to go to either side, so neither Climaxu or Kyochi can be completely sure as to where he's going. I think they just caught a glimpse of him as he pushes into the barn, and a beautiful flick from Climaxu. Always touted as one of the best AWPers in COD 4, and you just saw why, and I just said AWP again.
It's so hard. It's so hard not to. Obviously, we're both CSGO commentators, commentate together, different events there, but again, Battalion Carter I, we're here now, and so some of the things still cross over, unfortunately. Just like I'll probably say someone's ecoing when they're using a default weapon, just because I don't know, for some reason that just comes to mind. But we'll do our best. We'll do our damnedest, that is for sure, as we now have 2-1 scoreline in favor of the Computer Players now. Brilliant work last round with Climaxu's scope. So we are going to see a lot of focus right now from the men over at Asocial. They're pushing A Street real hard into the A site. Smokes are down. They're coming in. Climaxu, though, with the scope. Gets a kill. So does Kyochi.
And he's staying in the corner as well. No one's actually flushing him out at this point. The smoke may be helping him out. That's going to force the player into his embracing crosshair. He will get traded out, though. SNX runs out of bullets. He's not going to be able to punish Lincoln on top of it. And in doing so, Lincoln comes through with a final 2 frags in his car. 98k. Very well played. A good recovery as well, it has to be said, for Computer Players after they went the first round down. It was looking pretty rough. 3-1.
Yeah, after the stumble in the first round, Computer Players have really tightened up here lately. We're seeing Climaxu really go off with that scope. As Climaxu is certainly up top there with 7 kills. Miracle not too far behind with 5. We've already only played 4 rounds, so averaging at least a kill a round or more there between those 2 players. So we did have a couple of players drop out of the server, so we are paused to get them back in. We actually lost 3 players from Asocial, so they just got pillaged over there.
That's worrying. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But typically when 3 players drop at once, you're starting to think, are they playing from the same location? Is it internet issues? Is it power issues?
Never know.
Again, really don't know much about Asocial, so if you do, hit us up on Twitter or in the chats. Be happy to read. I'm sure we have some of their friends or fans in chat right now.
Indeed. Definitely seeing a lot of familiar names out there from the community watching, and we appreciate that. Taking a break from your time queuing up and playing to come and check out the first ever tournament for this game. Again, there's plenty of tournaments coming up next weekend as well that some different people are throwing. I'm not sure if the Plays is planning another Blitzkrieg battle for next weekend or not, but we'll stay posted about that. And again, I know there's a couple of other grassroots efforts being made in the NA scene as well to get some tournaments going. Okay, so yeah, apparently there is another Blitzkrieg battle going to take place next weekend. Already confirmed. Already 61 teams signed up, so only 3 more slots left. Okay, well, anyway, we're back into this game, into this particular Blitzkrieg battle.
Which is still very much up for grabs. Both these teams not too far away from securing their position in the semi-finals. And of course, that will be best of 1, and then if grand finals, best of 3. Close range confrontation with the sniper rifles. Zedbok will come out ahead though with the Thompson. Onyx close range, going to spray him in the back, but the bomb's been planted in amongst the chaos. 2-on-2. Kvetkin has been tagged down pretty low, but he's going to be able to regen back up again. Kyochi's not able to take him out of the equation, but finally will go back in once more. 1-on-1, not able to get the timing peak, and a very unfortunate Kyochi knocks down Kvetkin to 3 health, but he just about survives. And that will be an all-important round for Asocial.
Yeah, really well played over there, over towards that B bomb site. Kvetkin really big in that towards the end, able to put in those final frags. So definitely a great response to Computerplayers who had strung together the last 3 rounds in a row up until that point. Of course, Klimaxu still going to have that scope. A lot of cards still on the table for both teams. No one's economy has really been drained just yet. Still very early days in this game. So we're going to see Lincoln and Miracle looking to push over towards B. We do have Onyx. He's gotten into Connector. He could be looking to maybe flank behind these players who have pushed the A Street. Kyochi, last only guy inside the actual A bomb site, but Klimaxu rotating around, maybe be there to help him.
What I will say, though, is we've seen a lot of teams go predominantly for the default setup. So in this case, Carbines and Gavez. Not really the case so far for the Axis. They've gone all out, and they are losing players at an alarmingly fast rate. Already 2-for-1 trade in favor of Asocial. And Zedbox can use this opportunity to push through the trenches towards mid. In doing so, he is applying the pressure onto the Axis. And they're going to definitely feel the pinch. All on Miracle. He's got a shotgun. There's the first, but he has been tagged. And will be found out now. Just to make sure he picks up the card. Give them something to work with in the future rounds. But in terms of this one, it's all but over.
Yeah, he may even elect just to save that STG that he picked up. But he's still kind of dancing around over here towards Zigzag. So maybe looking to see if he can't get a kill or something like that. But he will get stamped out there by Kvetkin. And they will collect that operator card because of it. Also get up there and try to get that scope card. Yep, Kvetkin will get that too. So adding to the pool of his team. And that's left Computerplayers actually with only 1 marksman card left after the one that Klimaxu just picked up. So they could be out of snipers for a while now if they're unable to keep it or, you know, win this next round. So that is definitely important to think about because Klimaxu has been a terror with that scope through the early rounds in this half. If he were to be without it going forward, it might cause some problems.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was touching on before. They've gone for a lot of Garans and Thompsons, so now this is when they're going to start to feel a pinch. They haven't played like the other teams, just going for Carbines all the time. Eventually, they're going to have to dip down into that, but it's going to be Duck and Kvetkin who get the first kills. Climax is still alive, so is Kyochi with their 2 sniper rifles, but this is looking rough. Nice frag by Climax, though.
Yeah, really well done. But Miracle also chiming in now as well from actually inside the site. So now it's a 2v3, or 3v3 rather. So all of a sudden it's possible to make this happen. Make that a 2-on-3 now as Undead does find the shotgun frag. So it's just Klimaxu and Kyochi. They're both low. They're both needing to regen right now. And the round will actually end off of time. No, they did get the kills. Okay.
Yeah.
The player bar was kind of messing me up there a little bit. So round does in fact go over to Asocial. We can take another pause as we wait for Axis to get their 5th in here. It was Lincoln who dropped, but now he is back. Score 4-3 actually in favor of Asocial now.
They've been struggling to get those opening picks and really establish any kind of control across the map at this point. They haven't really utilized Secret as of yet, Computerplayers. We haven't seen them go for the long into Secret play, try and wrap around the side of A. It's been fairly one dynamic and fairly slow pace. They've not been trying to flank too much. I mean, you saw Article 51 do this a lot on their Axis side, and it's why they accrued so many rounds. You constantly saw Duffer either push B or someone went secret, and maybe this is something for them to have in the back of their minds. But it's going to be double snipers this time on the side of Asocial instead.
Indeed, it is going to be. It's going to be Duck and SNX looking to do it. We're seeing, though, that Computer Players are looking to get really aggressive over here towards the B lane and try to take some fights. We're seeing trades left and right. It is going to favor now, finally, Computer Players, thanks to that. But, I mean, it's just back and forth at this point. Now, Zebok is going to be all alone. He does have the heavy class. Maybe trying to rotate back around towards Connector to get the big barn, but gets shot in the back by Climaxu. And that will tie the game up now 4-all. Some cards will be collected here to help the war chest of Computer Players who were kind of bleeding out there for a little while. But yeah, it's just kind of a little bit of aggression over towards the B side of the map from Computer Players. Kind of nets them the win. To be fair, it was pretty chaotic there for a moment. Lots of trades.
Well, I mean, that was Miracle. That was Miracle stepping up. He got 3 kills with the shotgun all around the B side of the hut. And he's 12-6. I mean, he's by far and away top fragging on either side. Climaxu's behind him on 10, who's done a really solid job with the sniper, and he'll be looking to rinse and repeat. But Miracle, without him, this could be a very one-sided matchup thus far. So I'll be hoping to lean on him a little bit more. You can also see that their positioning in terms of the A side is very passive from the Axis side. They're playing deep at the back of the site, not allowing themselves to get grenaded.
Yeah, playing towards the spawn is Climaxu and Kyochi. Climaxu there, find the scope on the Z-Box, so first casualty already down. Nade comes in as well to get Duck.
And really well played. Waiting back, biding their time, setting up the nades, and now it's going to be out of the Kvekin. How much can he do? Not too much more. He got 1 kill, but that's been traded out instantly. Oddix, the only player to fall, and out undead. With the Garand in hand. Does have a smoke and has the bomb. But everything else stacked against him. And a very good response, a very good reply from Computer Players. I would say it's important here, though, Dust, for them not to lose any players, because they've got a shotgun in there. They'd like to keep that if possible, and they will.
We'll also pick up that Rifleman card as well, and so they took the lead. They're up 5-4 at this point. If you look over at the Allied side, they're actually out of Pathfinder cards, so no more SMGs in play. They're also out of Operator cards, so no shotguns available either. They have 3 Marksman cards, so that means they're like, well, crap, we got to do something. So they actually go double Sniper, because that's the card they had the most of. So that could change up their strategy a bit. I mean, if you're running double Sniper, you're probably not going to be able to move as fast. You're going to be looking for a lot of picks down maybe A Street, maybe down middle. But Climaxu is the one who draws his first blood. Oh, did he just get a 2-for-1 there? Or no, that was just 2 kills really quick together, wasn't it?
2 kills,
okay.
But very impressive play. I mean, that's why you do not want to even attempt to challenge him at that sort of range, because you're going to come out second best. Undead now, all that remains, and I think this is one of the reasons why we were not really seeing them pick up the marksmans that often, because they know they're outclassed against Climaxu. Like, how do you deal with him? He just doesn't miss. Playing the faster approach with the rifles, the heavies, the SMGs is the way to go. But as you said, they simply have no Pathfinders. They've just used their last card for rifle. They have nothing left for.
They just used their last heavy card as well. They literally have nothing left but 2 scope cards after this round.
And herein lays the importance of the card system. Now, the allies have their backs against the wall. They have marksman cards, but that ultimately means nothing.
Yeah, so they could be going to the last round of this half with basically nothing but default class. And in fact, they choose this round to go 3 default class, 1 rifleman, 1 heavy. Got to save some guns for the last round of the half in case they don't collect any here. They do get the opening kill thanks to SNX's set nade. Takes Lincoln out of the equation. Oddix has pushed out B a good bit with Miracle, so they have some information here on what's going on from Asocial, and they'll be able to watch Connector as well from the big barn. It's going to be Miracle up there with the default class. Does spot 2, gets 1, looking for another. Does get traded.
Climaxu's still just teeing off with that sniper rifle. He's on 15-4 now, showing no signs of slowing down. SDG and Garand up against Kyochi. Seemed a little bit slow on the trigger there, and that will afford the allies Asocial a bomb plant at the very least. In come the 2-axis. What can they get done? From very separate locations, though. It's going to be a divide and conquer approach.
Also, no utility except for a smoke grenade on Kyochi, so they can't, like, set nade the site and try to clear an angle. They could smoke the bomb or something, try to defuse inside of it or something wacky like that, but otherwise it's just going to come down to duels, really.
Kvetkin's got the first frag, and that's going to be it. Second one goes his way. All important cards getting picked up as well. They need this, and they're going to get it. I believe that was a rifle. Oh, it's actually going to be...
Apparently doesn't matter.
Round and a half.
Yep.
My math was bad. Round after that.
I could have swore there was too.
Rip.
Yeah, only 11 rounds have been played.
Yeah, the players are saying it as well. I was very confused there. I was like, hold on a second, there should be another round. I was doubting myself.
Yeah, that's real weird.
Why is that changed at 7 rounds? Sorry.
11 rounds.
At 11 rounds. What's going on?
I'm not sure what to do from here at this point. I don't know if there's a way just to switch back. I don't know what, unless somehow a first round got counted before they actually started. Remember, we had that 1 round play, then they like reset the server.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it still counted it.
Apparently, a player couldn't buy and he's stuck at spawn, so maybe that screwed it up.
Yep, that's probably... Now, I'm not sure what we do from here, is the thing. I don't know if there's a way to just... I feel like all we could do is restart the server again and just play 1 round of what it was before, but everyone would have max cards going into that last round. Because there's no way to like match medic or anything like that, and then we'd have to restart the server again and then start from this point and do some manual addition or something like that. Not really sure how it's going to work out.
Well, that is certainly one for the admin team to figure out.
Yep. We're just commentators.
Yes, we just work here.
We just here.
It's kind of unfortunate, though, because it's probably going to be another pause, but not much we can do about that. Is Manor House growing on you then, or are you still pretty mad with it?
I mean, like, I'm learning it more, but I just think the other 3 maps are far above this one. I think this map still needs some work. I just feel like there's just so much going on this map compared to the others, especially on the A side. There's just so much going on between the Manor House. There's so many different like barns and shed buildings. I don't mind the concept of a mid and an alt mid. We obviously see that same thing on Derailed. But I don't know. I feel like there's like, I think Secret is kind of useless over on the A side of the map. I think you could just have long A and A Street with the plane, and you could just get rid of Secret altogether. I don't really see a point in that. That being said, though, it's like Axis still have done really well on this map. So even with all the options allies have, it still seems like the defense usually shows up pretty well here. So at the end of the day, Secret and Long A just lead to the same point, so it doesn't really do a whole lot. Especially if the Axis are playing passive towards spawn, and they're never really interacting over towards the Long A area. I've never seen an Axis player like push Long A in this tournament. Like, everyone's been pretty content to just kind of stay inside the A side or stay towards spawn and take the long shots.
Yeah, I think it's because you're quite vulnerable if you push up long. It's quite a close-knit, sort of narrow...
this also might be the biggest map of all of the ones so far. So if you push out long A and they hit B, you're so far away. Might be another thought. I don't know. Again, this game is so early on. There's no real established meta, or, you know, we're just learning about what tactics teams like to use, so it's really hard to know. But server has been restarted, so we're trying to get things going back. Again, folks, we appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you enjoy the stream, please do follow this channel, of course, because we'll have more matches later today. Of course, we still got the semifinals and finals coming up. We got another Blitzkrieg battle coming up next weekend. You can also follow up me and Vince over on Twitter. @followed us, @OnFireVince. We appreciate that. Again, I think a little bit later on today, at some point, we may try to get Bramerton in here and do a little bit of an interview with him. Kind of talk to him a little bit about how early access has gone so far, and maybe ask him some questions. Of course, he's actually really transparent on Twitter. Like, he puts out videos and updates and stuff like that. So he's definitely someone worth following on Twitter as well. If you want to stay up to date about what's going on with this game, it's at Brammertron on Twitter. And again, the devs kindly enough gave some war chests to us to give away to the winning teams today. So, kind of, Vince, just what have you thought so far about casting today? I guess while we're having some time to talk.
No, it's been very enjoyable. As I said before, it's kind of surreal to me to go from casting COD 4 on pretty much a daily basis, you know, getting the grind on back in the day, to ultimately having 6 or 7 years away and then coming back and having some of the same players play again. It's a very strange but good feeling, and this game definitely gives me a lot of nostalgia. I feel like the game, a lot of people have asked me when I've been streaming especially, do you feel like this game is more like COD 2, COD 4, is it like CS, blah blah blah. I feel like it's more like COD 4 in terms of the movement and kind of how the game feels.
Right.
But obviously you've got a COD 2 spin on there because of World War II, and there's other little things here and there that remind me of COD 2. But yeah, I mean, it's very nostalgic for me. I really do enjoy the game, and I'm pretty hyped and excited to see what the future holds for Battalion 1944, because I think it's on the right path.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a game that had competition in mind from the very get-go when putting this game together. And I like the fact that the map is kind of, you know, simple. Maps are simple, straight lines, no clutter. I mean, it's just focused on being a skill-based shooter, really. I mean, I know a lot of people sometimes say, oh, it doesn't look as pretty as some other games, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, the most popular game right now seems to be PUBG, and that game doesn't look that good either. So, like, I don't think looks are what matters. What matters is gameplay and the competition and what it feels like, and I think Battalion's really nailed some of those core mechanics. It's just now about perfecting it, optimizing things, getting things rolling. And yeah, I think the future is, you know, hopefully bright for this game. I think it's good news that from speaking with Brammerton, I've done some interviews with them on my YouTube channel, and, you know, Square Enix, who, you know, published this game with Bulkhead Interactive, are apparently keen on, you know, financially backing some bigger tournaments, perhaps even later this year. And I think that that's great news that the people, you know, putting out this game are wanting to support esports.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that will be a huge bonus to Battalion 1944 to have like strong backing and obviously big prize pools. Because as I said before, that brings in sponsors, that brings in big organizations. You're basically going to be in a position where the game will grow as a result, just organically, just naturally. So, yeah, I'm very hopeful that we do see that backing come into play. And I think the main thing, and going back to your point about graphics and sort of, you know, it's not the nicest looking game. Look, at the end of the day, people that love COD 2, there's still people even now that still play it to this day. There's still people that play COD 4 because the games are just so well made. They were so smooth. They're perfect for multiplayer. And obviously, the developers have been very influenced and inspired by those games that they maybe grew up playing and getting knee deep into. They're like, we want more of that. Like, graphics, I actually don't think the graphics are bad at all in this game. I think they're completely fine. I don't have a problem with them whatsoever. But the most important thing is just making the gameplay smooth, and I would say this game definitely has nailed that aspect of it, like the COD 2, COD 4 movement.
Yeah, game runs smooth, good frame rate, all that good stuff. Again, I think movement's something they really focused on throughout the alpha and beta process the most. And obviously the firing mechanics. Now it's just about tweaking things. Like maybe we need to balance the weapon a little bit. Maybe we need to increase damage or decrease damage. Maybe we need to, you know, I know that they've already discussed that they want to revamp the card system going forward. Because I think the big thing people have had a gripe about is like there's no real type of comeback mechanic or like a loss bonus. Like we know in CSGO, you get a loss bonus. You keep getting more money each round you lose in a row, and there's nothing really like that in this game. And so you can obviously run out of cards. If you go down like 6-0, 7-0, you might be out of cards already, and then you're stuck on default class, and you're up against people with cards all the time, and it's hard to fight back. And so I think there's been some discussion about, well, maybe we need to do some tweaks to the card system. I know that they're already working on that, but they still wanted to keep the original card system in for now to get more data from it, do more testing, get a better feel for it. let people get a better feel for the default class maybe when they get forced to use it more, and kind of see how it plays out, because it is a one-shot headshot kill, but obviously it's a lot harder to get headshots in this game compared to like a Counter-Strike. So yeah, definitely still a lot of testing and tweaking needed, but I think this game, obviously you folks can't know this because maybe a lot of you weren't involved in like the super early alphas, you know, like a year ago, but this game has come a hell of a long way between, you know, day one of the first alpha to where we're at now with or early access. Excuse me.
Yep, and I think you're just going to see more and more improvements as time goes on. I mean, obviously they already have a lot of things in their priority, like with the servers and whatnot, but yeah, I think honestly the future is bright, and I just from speaking, and obviously Dust, you also spoke to the developers. We've been on Skype calls and stuff with them. Very, very passionate bunch of people, and they really want this game to succeed, so I have every confidence that it will. But enough chit-chat from us, because I think we're ready to play that last round. I think it was 6-5. Do correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep. Yes. It is still 6-5. It says it on the
Oh, there
scoreboard.
we go. It actually has just came
oh my
back 6-5. Nice one.
You up?
Oh, we spoke too soon. We jinxed it.
Oh. This time though, for sure. Surely this is the one.
I'm just hoping that didn't give a round to somebody and we have to do all that all over again.
You'd really hate to see that, Vince.
No. Okay, good.
Let's get it. Take it away, Vince. Last round of the half. 6-5 in favor of the Computer Players.
This time they are actually going to smoke this off, and I like that play. I just feel like it's a bit too late from Asocial, because Climaxi was constantly peeking mid and just ripping them to pieces. This is going to force them into a more aggressive play. That's exactly what Lincoln is doing. He's gone straight through mid. He's on the walls, actually. A player down to his left, which is on his team. They've got this double stack in trenches. This allows them a quick rotation to either side, wherever the allies decide to push. But the kills are all going the way of Asocial, and there's really nothing that Axis can do about it.
Yeah, it's looking really good right now for Asocial. Just Onyx and Climaxu left here to try to make this retake work in a 2 versus 3 situation. We do see Onyx trying to come around the house. He does catch the shotgunner. That is SNX, but his teammate's gone down to Kvetkin, so now he's all alone. 1v2. Kvetkin hiding here on the site with the Thompson. The other inside Apples. The bomb's planted for him and Apples as well, and it won't even really matter. Kvetkin sprays down the last player, and we will move on to the second half. All tied up, 6 apiece. Again, so another close game on our hands. Again, last game we commentated with the Bang versus...
Article 51.
Yes, sorry, because they changed their name. They were like Legends, and they changed their name to Article 51 right before the tournament started, so got a little mixed up. But yeah, that game went into overtime, actually, to solve it, so really cool to see the tight races here in the quarterfinals. And then again, we have the semifinals coming up next right after this on Coastal, and then we have the grand finals, best of 3.
So it does surprise me a little bit. Obviously, we've got a pause. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. But apparently a lot of the cards aren't working. RIP. I was going to say I'm kind of surprised that Climaxu isn't going to go for a sniper rifle, because he is so sniper heavy that for him to take a carbine would be super surprising to me. But obviously, if there's a pause, there could be some issues that are stopping him going for that.
Indeed. Luckily, at this point, restarting the server would be a lot easier because the hat's already been completed, so we could just do like manual math to
and it was 6-6, so it'd literally just be the first to 7 wins basically at that point. So it'd be very easy to figure out. Hopefully we'll get some information soon-ish so we can pass it on to you guys.
Indeed. Just trying to see if there's any questions in chat we could answer. I know people were kind of talking about some stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Coastal. Yes. I just want to watch Coastal now.
I do too. That's actually my favorite map of all of them. Derailed's close second, but Coastal... I just like... It's kind of a different color scheme and just a different feel. It's more open... it's just a different kind of map, Coastal. So I'm glad we'll get to watch that in the next game.
You got any questions there from chat?
Not yet. Apparently, Undead played Rainbow Six with some teams, so give you a little perspective on some of the players we have in the server. Thank you in chat to.
Although it does seem a bit odd because like Rainbow Six is a game I've never played it to like a high level. I've played it like a little bit on and off, but it's not really the kind of game that I would say would transition that well across to a game like Battalion.
Definitely
Rainbow
not.
Six is quite slow. It's very tactical. It's very strategic, and sure, COD has elements of that. Battalion has elements of that, but it's more the fast paced nature that I think Rainbow Six doesn't necessarily have.
Right. Of course, we had the classic banter of which COD was better, COD 2 or COD 4. Obviously, those debates never get settled.
I mean, can we all just agree they're both great games?
Yep, I think that's good. The same thing used to happen in the Counter-Strike. It was 1.6 versus Source until Go kind of united everyone. This game is that uniting tool of COD 4 Pro Mod and COD 2. Kind of a perfect marriage. That's kind of how I describe it. People ask me, what is Battalion 1944? I was like, well, basically take COD 4 movement mechanics, but add COD 2 weaponry, environments, and like and art. And then on top of all that, Bulkhead Interactive kind of made that work, and then they kind of added their own unique twist to it all by adding the Wartide card system as the competitive mode.
That's accurate.
So there you have it.
It's like saying what's the best between pizza and steak? They're both awesome.
Oh, steak is infinitely better than pizza.
You suck.
You're crazy. Unless the pizza has pineapple on it, in which case,
Jesus.
Superior. I knew that would trigger you. I'm just here to trigger you, Vince. Sometimes it's what I'm here to do, you know? Good old Dust, the Vince trigger.
Right, so I think we're having a restart, so yeah, it will be 1st to 7 if it is indeed restarted. Let me just hop onto the spec there. Forgot about
that. Yeah, also these teams have been super easy to work with when it comes to dealing with these issues and pauses. They know that this is early on stuff. Obviously, tournaments will only get better from here as we learn through trials what works and what doesn't and what needs to be addressed. So, all right, Vince, I have a question for you.
Cool.
We've been playing a little bit of Battalion in beta, alpha, early access so far. We know competitive releases on the 8th. Where do you think you're going to be at, Vince, after your placements and such? What level do you feel you're on?
After just placements, or what do I think my...
What do you think you can reach? Because obviously, I'm sure after placements, you can only get so high. Like, they're not just going to go, oh, you won your placements, you're World Elite. Like, no, obviously not.
I mean, first off, I haven't fully looked at all the ranks, but I would say if I put enough time and effort into it, yeah, I could get World Elite.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Basically, it's similar to other systems. There's the bronzes, the silvers, the golds, and then diamond. And then at the end of diamond is basically the World Elite level. Yeah. So, okay. Vince confident.
Well, you know, I'm far better at this game than on CS, and I got Global Elite there. Well, I'd say this game, I mean like COD 2, COD 4. Anyway, enough about us, Dust. The game has started.
You mean you don't like just talking and hearing your own voice?
Not so much, which is strange for a caster, I know.
Anyway, the attack is on.
Ooh. Hello, Quebec kid. How you doing? Just laying fools out. Wow.
There's like a million cards in that corner, by the way. Just everyone died in that particular area. So many bodies on the floor. And it is going to go the way of Asocial. So they will be ahead now by 1 round, 7-6. But apparently Computerplayers has lost another, well, computer player. And so we got another pause.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
He is rip in pepperonis. He has vacated the server. He's out. So, pause again. You love to see it.
And I hate to see it at the same time.
Right, so I'll return the question to you then, Dust. Where do you see yourself going?
Wood League.
Wood League. Nice.
It's below bronze. It's a secret league for real shitters. No, I don't know. It's weird. Like, right now it's hard to tell because you never know who you're going to be up against, right? And right now in unranked play, I mean, I'm pretty much shitting on everyone, but I don't know how it's going to be when you're actually playing competitive with voice comms and maybe teams like 5-man stacking or, you know, at least a few players from the same team stacking together in competitive rank. Who knows?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
That's kind
I'll
of
be honest with you. I was getting pooped on through most of the alpha stage because a lot of people in alpha were like former COD pros, and I was holding my own against them, but I was definitely not winning. So I don't know. I could get in the diamonds, I think, maybe.
Right, smoke is slightly off, but he's not going to get punished. No snipers or riflers looking up towards undead. Count myself lucky on that occasion. But now he's going to use that smoke to his advantage. He pushes through with a shotgun. He's going to be landing so much damage, but finally goes down. It could have been another 2 kills for him, though. It's a bit unfortunate he didn't at least get another one from that. But as a result of his overconfidence, he has made a couple of holes that the rest of his team are looking to pounce on. Miracle has came through with his own shotgun, though, and will lay down one of the Asocial players. 3-on-3 bomb getting planted. Ooh. Again, remember, it's first to 7, as we did have the restart. Climaxu comes through with 1. Oh, what a shot that is onto Kvetkin. Mid-air, 1-taps him with a carbine. See you later, son.
Yeah, now just SNX left in a 1 versus 2. There's still a good bit of time left to try to make something happen here. Both players of CPL inside the B house as SNX comes through the back hallways of the stairs. Gun in hand, does spot one of the shotgun players, but unable to land the mark. He does, however, put the MP40 to work onto Onyx. Now it's just Miracle. Miracle holding the angle, though. Pops off the shotgun, gets the kill, evens this back up. It is 7-7 overall, but again, for simple terms, we'll just say it's 1-1, and it's a race to 7 right now.
Yes, that would probably be for the best. First half has already came and gone. Went 6-6, all even. I don't know if you saw that Climaxu shot, man. It was absolute filth in the B hut. Just literally jumping 1-tapped him.
That is something you love to see. Some nice juicy 1-taps. Which the default rifle can net you. As well as, of course, the bolt actions and the bar headshot will do the same. We do have Climaxu also finding more work. Undead, though, trying to push out B-House. Oh, he's about to run into so many computer players right now. Just in the corner of B-House, trying his damnedest to survive it all. But Lincoln able to tap him out, and that's the B-bombs right underneath the control of the computer players. Duck, the only person around. He has to wait for his team to rotate so they can attack together. Actually, he just steps out and does it himself. Gets a kill. Climaxu craters. What's going on here?
So many awkward fights, man. Like, Climaxu should have had that kill. He wasted a whole magazine. I think he just got overconfident. Maybe a bit tilted at his potato aim. But either way, it's 1v2. Duck with the shotgun's going to get 1, but from the shadows, Kyochi will strike with his carbine.
Dude, I have to say, Duck got a lot closer than maybe you would have expected to actually somehow pulling that thing off. He was alone at B against basically 3 or 4 players, snuck in some Luger frags, got a shotgun kill there at the end, got into a 1v1 for a short period of time. So it actually got a little dangerous. Like you said, some awkward things going on towards Barn and over towards the B lane, but it is the round going to computer players nonetheless, so they are 1 round ahead in that race to 7 rounds.
Lincoln is down. Kyochi close to following him. So the early nade confrontation has gone the way of the Axis Asocial. Make that 2. Lincoln finally is put out of his misery. Kvetkin taking control over mid, looking down into the trenches. There's another one. Jesus.
Undead pushing through B house right now, looking to see if he can't finish the job as Lincoln and Kyochi kind of gathered up over here towards alt mid. Lincoln looking for a duel, but Duck not peeking out far enough. They will gather up together to go towards middle. SNX is at plane, so depending on which route CPL takes from middle, he may be able to spot them. Duck and Undead are actually beginning to rotate as well through their spawn area over towards the A-bomb site to help out SNX, perhaps. Undead will stay behind at Big Barn just to make sure that B is still on lock.
22 seconds, though. Time is running against. And to make matters worse, Duck has pounced. That's the bomb. Dropped. 15 seconds. They've seen where Kyochi is. Luke is not going to be enough to dispatch of him. But again, the time is going to be more than enough. Kyochi is pretty much done in this round. It's a case of can he take players down with him. And I have no idea how he's still alive. I don't know what the hell's happening here. There we go. Finally, he's gone. Yeah. He's out of it.
Doesn't amount to much. I mean, he was just on a default class. There's no card to be collected there. So he's not going to be too bothered by the fact he didn't get anything. But he would have, of course, liked to bring some guns down and force some new cards to have to get pulled. And actually, the funny thing is like they're even 2-2, but the card economy is actually heavily in favor of computer players. They've been a lot more reserved about the cards they've used so far this half, so they actually still have plenty of cards stored. Meanwhile, Asocial's getting bled a little bit dry on what cards they have in their pool.
Which is very interesting, considering that when they were on the Axis side, computer players, they were using a lot of their cards early on. They were really going in deep with that. So obviously just trusting in the carbine on the attack a little bit more, wanting that extra utility to throw in the nades. But that being said, it's now a 4-on-2. Lincoln around the backside with the MP40, Undead with a double shotgun blast to the chest. And it's going to be a third as well. Lincoln, very unfortunately, just looks away at the worst possible moment. And Undead, he's had a couple of sticky situations on the B side, definitely making amends there. That was a hell of a round by him.
I think he had 4 kills on that round, actually, with the shotgun. So he definitely did a lot of work over in that B house and just actually shut down the attack on that side of the map almost single-handedly. Puts them actually a round back ahead of the computer players. And again, computer players is one of those teams that were perhaps favored to make it all the way to the grand finals if you go off of their COD pedigree. But Asocial is definitely keeping this a tight race. So we're going to see Asocial getting very aggressive towards A Street right now. Just Undead alone on the B side. CPL definitely has the focus right now on middle. Miracle and alt mid watching for some type of B push, as well as Klimaxu and Kyochi not being too far away. Lincoln's pushed connector out. Onyx has found the frag, but Z-Bot trying to even it out, but he's been traded again, so CPL stay a man ahead. Of course, as soon as I say that, Duck gets one. 3-on-3 now.
Yeah, again, it seems like teams are struggling to attack on this map. Something about it seems to be an issue. And now, computer players that have very aggressive players on their team, the likes of Miracle, can be an absolute monster. They're having to play quite passive. They're having to give the respect across to Asocial and stop them from flanking around the back of them. Now, speaking of which, Undead is here with a shotgun. He's just going to be peering into mid. Duck has been trying to rattle off some shots with his car scoped, but Undead now has been spotted and tagged down very low on 5 health. Nearly finished off with a shotgun. He's still going to be able to connect the frag, and he's still alive on 10. Not only is he able to survive, but he's wasting so much time. Down to 20 seconds. If he can pick up another kill, he's basically just won the round outright for Asocial. But he's not going to. He is a dead man.
Time's really running low here. They need to get this bomb planted on the CPL side. Miracle will go in, but there's a player here on the stairs that could stop him. It's Duck with the scope. He gets 1 kill, leaves Miracle on in the 1v2. Miracle does get off the plant. He's chasing it down. He does get the kill on the Duck. He's aware of the last player. Picks up the M1. Grand gets 1 tag. He needs 2. Can't fit the second. SNX will win the round for Asocial, and they're now just 3 rounds away from knocking computer players out. And that could be another favorite out of the tournament alongside the likes of... who was that?
Article 51.
Article 51, that's right. Again, I keep getting confused because they were called Legends before. So that would be another huge team as far as names on paper out of this.
Again, it really does go to show that it's been a long time since COD 4 was in its heyday, and a lot of these players were. It may take them a while to get used to the new maps, to get used to ultimately where the attack needs need to land, the composition of weaponry. But we are going to actually see, for one of the first times in Manor House V2, a push from an Axis player up onto long, and it does work out pretty decently. It's a 2-for-1 trade overall in favor to Asocial.
That's very true. As CPL looking to try to gather up the remaining 3 players over towards the plane. They are pushing down. Kvetkin could be there to greet them, though. Klimaxu looking for something with the scope at mid. Duck is in the area, but now Klimaxu's got his efforts focused towards B. Undead has pushed through the house. He's up close to the right. Climaxu won't spot him, though. In the meantime, Z-Box taking down Lincoln, so the numbers are dwindling right now for CPL. Actually, all on Climaxu now. 1v4.
Definitely going to be a concern, considering
What?
Climaxu's missed almost all his bullets, but will get the fight. I think that was the very last bullet in his M19 or M1911 that did connect. Fake the bomb, try and draw out one of these Asocial players into his crosshair. At this point, he's got to roll the dice, and it's going to be Snake Eyes. There connects the Kar 98K round to the chest of Climaxu. And now we're in a position where Asocial are just 2 rounds away from causing an upset. Yeah,
again, it would be the second one of the tournament. And again, we say upset. We don't really know how good all these people are at Battalion. We're basing it off of their Call of Duty history. For Article 51, the history didn't pay off on Liberation against the Bang, and here it's not serving Computer Players too well. But again, they're not that far behind. Oh my goodness, though, Kvetkin with the unscoped Kar 98 just landed a blinder on Lincoln at middle. Don't know if you caught that, but that was pretty sweet.
And that's almost an identical position to where Climaxu was trying to snipe from spawn as well, so clearly is the god spot right now, and again, they're losing so many players. 2 left alive. At least Kyochi is going to get 1 back, but he's going to be sniped down by Duck. Miracle with 1, but you just have to feel like this is the desperation of a team circling the drain, trying to stop themselves from drowning. And not much more. Will be prone. Bomb also dropped out, and I mean, Miracle, really, it was a case of who gets the kill on him, really. Had no chance to clutching that round as soon as they started to encircle his position.
Yeah. And again, I think people need to be careful either way. Like, people are assuming, oh, COD will definitely do well because they used to play COD in this games like COD. Well, no, you can't assume that. But then if they lose, you can't assume that, oh, all the ex-CODs are really struggling. The sample size is small. It's early access, and these are best of ones. Like, calm down. We don't know anything yet, basically, is the point I'm trying to get at. Right now, we're just having fun watching people go against each other and maybe starting to get a little bit of understanding of who some of these players are and what they can do in this game.
And I mean, as I said earlier, I spoke to Miracle, and he said himself they didn't even think this was in the competitive map pools. They've done 0 preparation on this map before this game.
Indeed, yes.
So, yeah, I mean, this could be a case if it's any other map that Computer Players wipe the floor with Asocial.
Yeah. Point is, there's a lot of unknown information, so let's not assume we know.
It's super early days.
So we keep playing this thing out. Computer Players have an advantage in this round, looking to attack into A, gathered up here on long, trying to push in. Kvetkin trying to hold him off with the Kar 98, rattling off the bullets, and he does land one through the wall on Climaxu.
Wasn't far off on that no-scope either. Miracle, in the meanwhile, Thompson in hand, going to go back and pick up the card and get the bomb planted, but they're very cognizant and worried about the fact that there could be a flank in fruition. And there is. There's a lot of time to play with. They're not in a rush to plant the bomb outright just yet. They can play around with the idea, toy with it, and hopefully get one of these players out in the open. But Kvetkin's going to use this advantage to just push straight out. And the Garand didn't have many bullets left, nor did Kyochi have much health left. And they're going to get punished. And that is the game.
Indeed it is. Another big scalp down. So basically we have this Asocial team has moved on to the semifinals. We know the Bang has moved on to the other semifinal as well. I'm not sure what other 2 teams. We haven't been able to keep up with the other quarterfinals matches that were going on simultaneous to this. I know that Pro Grip was one of the like Reflexer, one of the star German players on that team. We know that he was kind of favored with his team to perhaps make a semifinal, but don't have that information just yet. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in so much. We hope that you'll keep following. Again, we have a semifinal best of 1 on Coastal, and then the grand finals left to go. And then we will be kind of just, getting to the conclusion of this first ever Battalion tournament here. Blitzkrieg battle from the plays. Thanks for joining us, and we will be back with the next game shortly, so stay tuned, folks. We'll be back.